They look identical, they fit the same, they even come from the same factories. Yet Jeep dealerships charge up to 5 times more just because the box says Mopar. Today I'll show you 15 Jeep parts you should never buy from the dealer, the brands that make the exact same parts for less, and how owners save thousands without sacrificing quality or their warranty. First up at number 15 is the engine air filter. This is the softest scam, and almost every Jeep owner still falls for it. Your dealer sells you a Mopar air filter for around $35 and says nothing else fits right. That's a fairy tale in a box. Wix, Fram, and Purolator sell the exact same shape for $12 to $15, and Wix is literally an OEM grade maker for major automakers. Same paper, same pleats, just a different sticker. Swapping it yourself takes 90 seconds and 2 clips. That habit puts $25 back in your pocket every year. It's the tiniest ripoff here, and the rest get uglier fast. Number 14 is the cabin air filter. Now the scam gets bolder because the cabin air filter hides where nobody looks. It's the little filter behind your glove box that cleans the air you breathe. Your dealer charges around $45 for the Mopar one on a Grand Cherokee, then hits you with another $80 in labor, on real invoices. Meanwhile, Fram, Bosch, and Excel sell the exact same filter for $7 to $15, and some come with an activated carbon layer that beats the OEM. The install takes 4 minutes with bare hands. 2 clips, slide it out, drop it in. If a dealer touched this filter for you, you paid a full hour's wage for a job easier than making toast. Number 13 is the oil filter. However, filters are just the warm-up. The oil filter ripoff is nastier because it hides on your service invoice. Dealers bake $15 to $20 into every oil change for a Mopar filter, and they never itemize it. That same filter from Wix, Bosch, or Mobil 1 sits on the AutoZone shelf for $6 to $8, sometimes less. And a Mobil 1 filter is often built to a higher spec than the Mopar one, with better bypass valves and stronger media. So you're paying more for a weaker filter on your own engine. Bring your own filter to any Indy oil change, or do it yourself in 15 minutes. That saves you $30 every oil change, forever. Number 12 is the wiper blades. That habit gets even sillier with wiper blades. Dealers love wipers because owners assume they're specialty parts, and that assumption prints money. Your dealer charges around $40 per blade for Mopar wipers, and some quote closer to $60 per blade on newer Wranglers with a rear wiper. That's insane. Rain-X, Bosch, and Trico sell the exact same size blade with better rubber for $15 to $20 a pair at Walmart. Bosch Icon blades outperform Mopar in every independent test I've seen, at less than half the cost. Install takes under a minute per blade. If a dealer ever charges you labor to change wipers, that's a red flag they think you're an easy mark. Number 11 is the battery. Now those small ripoffs are pocket change next to the Jeep battery game. A Mopar branded battery installed at the dealer runs $250 to $300, and some 4xe and 392 owners have posted quotes closer to $400. The wild part? Mopar batteries are made by huge makers like East Penn and Clarios, the same 2 companies that stamp out Costco, Kirkland, and Interstate batteries you can buy for half the price. East Penn alone makes store-brand batteries for dozens of brands you'd recognize. A Costco Kirkland fits most Jeeps for around $140 with a 3-year full replacement warranty that beats the Mopar one. Same lead, same acid, same factory floor. You paid the extra $120 for a sticker. Swapping it takes 10 minutes with 1 wrench. Before we continue, if you're serious about making your Jeep last as long as possible, I've put everything I know into my 500,000-mile Jeep blueprint. It covers the maintenance schedule, the common failures to watch for, and exactly what to do at every stage to avoid expensive repairs. The link is in the description below. Number 10 is the brake pads. But the battery is small potatoes next to what dealers do with Jeep brakes. This is where the wallet damage gets brutal. A front pad set from your dealer runs $130 to $213 in parts alone. Add rotors and labor, and a full brake job on a Grand Cherokee lands at $760, with some forum owners reporting quotes as high as $1,200. One Cherokee owner posted his invoice showing a dealer wanting $1,200 for warped rotors at 14,000 miles, so he switched to PowerStop and never had the issue again. Meanwhile, PowerStop Z23 carbon ceramic pads run $40 to $70 for the same fit, and they outperform Mopar on both dust and stopping power. EBC and Akebono are also solid. A full DIY brake job with quality aftermarket parts costs around $150 total. $600 saved in one Saturday afternoon. Number 9 is the brake rotors. The brake rotors are the second half of that ambush, and this is where the story gets ugly. Mopar rotors run $106 to $154 each, and Jeep owners on Jeep Cherokee Club keep posting the same complaint. Stock Mopar rotors warp early, sometimes by 14,000 miles. 14,000 on a rotor that should last 4 times that. So the dealer charges you double for a rotor that fails sooner than the cheap ones. PowerStop and DBA sell drilled and slotted rotors for $40 to $70 that run cooler and last longer. Centric premium blanks are also great for daily driving at around $50 a rotor. Pair those with the aftermarket pads from the last part, and your whole brake job just cost under $200 in parts. The dealer wanted $1,000 for the same result. Number 8 is the spark plugs. Speaking of hidden overcharges, spark plugs are the sneakiest one on this list. Your Jeep runs on NGK or Champion Iridium plugs from the factory, and the joke is right on the packaging. Mopar just repackages the same plug in a Mopar box and marks it up. Your dealer charges $15 to $20 per plug, and a Pentastar V6 needs 6 of them. That's $120 in plugs alone before labor. But you can walk into any AutoZone and grab the identical NGK Iridium plug, same part number stamped right on it, for $6 to $9 each. Same spark, same gap. The whole set costs $50 instead of $120. If your dealer charges you labor on top of that markup, you're paying twice for the same insult. Wait until you hear what they do to the cooling system. Quick pause. If this list is already saving you money, hit that subscribe button right now so I can keep exposing ripoffs like this every week. Number 7 is the serpentine belt. Back to the engine bay, and the serpentine belt is a classic hidden overcharge. Your dealer quotes $75 to $200 for a belt job and marks the belt itself up to $50 or $77. A Gates or Continental belt, which is exactly what Mopar puts on the Jeep from the factory, costs $20 to $30 on Rock Auto or Amazon. Continental and Gates are the two main OEM belt suppliers for most Mopar applications. So when the dealer charges you $77 for a Mopar belt, they bought that same Gates belt for $20. Changing the belt takes 15 minutes with a breaker bar, and there's a diagram on the fan shroud showing the routing. Number 6 is the water pump. However, the belt is nothing next to the water pump ripoff. A Mopar water pump at the dealer runs $160 to $200, and with their $200 hourly labor, the total job lands at $760 to $900. For a part that costs the dealer around $40. A Gates or Napa water pump for the same Jeep runs $50 to $100 with a lifetime warranty. Gates literally supplies pumps to Mopar. Same metal body, same bearings, just no sticker. Some Jeep owners genuinely swear by OEM for the pump, so buy the OEM Mopar pump on Rock Auto for $100 shipped, not $200 at the counter. That trick works on almost every OEM part they push. Number 5 is the thermostat, and while you're in the cooling system, the thermostat is even more absurd per dollar. Your dealer charges around $50 for a Mopar thermostat plus labor. That thermostat is a Stant or Gates unit with a Mopar sticker on it. The exact same Stant thermostat, in a Stant box, costs $10 to $23 at any auto parts store. That's a markup close to 300% on a piece of metal and wax. Nothing special, nothing high-tech, it's a valve that opens at a temperature. Buy the Stant Superstat for $14, drop it in when you swap the water pump, and forget about it for 100,000 miles. The dealer version does the exact same job for 4 times the price. That's a paint job on the same nail. Number 4 is the all-weather floor mats. Moving inside the Jeep, the Mopar all-weather floor mats are my personal favorite to rip on. Your dealer sells the branded 3-piece set with the Jeep logo for $150 to $200, then adds $20 for installation, which means dropping them on your floor. Meanwhile, WeatherTech floor liner sets for the same Wrangler or Grand Cherokee run $100 to $150, with a laser-fit design that covers more of your floor than Mopar does. WeatherTech backs them with a lifetime warranty. The Mopar mats come with a 12-month warranty. Read that again. The OEM mats cost more, cover less, and die a year later. Husky liners and MaxPiter are also excellent, sometimes cheaper. That's a ripoff with a Jeep logo on the corner. Number 3 is the headlight assembly. Then there's the headlight assembly, and this one gets truly stupid. Crack a headlight on your Wrangler JL or Grand Cherokee, and your dealer quotes $300 to $600 per side for a Mopar replacement, with some quotes closer to $800 on 4XE trims, for one headlight. Meanwhile, aftermarket makers like Morimoto, Diode Dynamics, and Rough Country sell brighter LED headlights for the same Jeep at $100 to $200 each, with light output often 2 to 3 times better than stock. On JK Wranglers especially, the OEM halogens are famously dim, and swapping to aftermarket LEDs is the single most common upgrade on the whole platform. So the dealer wants $600 to sell you a dimmer light. Aftermarket gives you a brighter, better-looking one for a third of the price. Number 2 is the key fob. Now this is the one that shocks people the most, the key fob scam. Lose a key on your JL Wrangler, and your dealer charges $250 to $320 for the fob itself, plus another $90 to $150 for programming. That's $470 to replace a piece of plastic with a battery inside. Real Jeep owners have posted the receipts on JL Wrangler forums, and yes, they actually paid it. One owner even called 3 different dealers and got 3 different quotes, from $250 up to over $400 for the exact same fob. But aftermarket fobs on Amazon for the same Wrangler run $30 to $70, and independent locksmiths can program them for $50 to $100. Some owners program their own fobs using the Alpha OBD app and a $30 OBD2 adapter. That's an 80% savings on a scam the dealer runs every day. And the biggest ripoff on this list at number 1 is the lift kit. Walk into a Jeep dealer for a Mopar 2-inch JPP lift kit, and they quote $1,500 for the kit, plus $1,200 to $2,000 for installation. That's a $3,500 bill for a 2-inch lift. Even Jeep owners on forums openly call the Mopar lift overpriced for what you get, and the earlier version of that kit had a real spring bow issue that Mopar had to redesign. A comparable Rough Country, Rubicon Express, or Metal Cloak kit runs $400 to $800, and independent shops install for $600 to $900. That's a $2,000 swing for the same lift height, often with better ride quality. And when the service advisor tries to scare you with, "You'll void your warranty," they're lying. I can prove it in one sentence. The secret dealers pray you never Google. That sentence is the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, a federal law passed in 1975. It makes it illegal for a dealer to void your warranty just because you used an aftermarket part. To deny a claim, the dealer has to prove that the specific aftermarket part caused the specific failure. Not, "You have a lift kit, so no coverage." That's not how the law works. The Federal Trade Commission sent warning letters to major automakers in 2018, including BMW, Ford, and Hyundai, telling them to stop pushing that scare tactic on customers. The law even covers routine stuff like brake pads, filters, wipers, and belts, which means every single ripoff on this list is protected. So the next time a service advisor tells you a WeatherTech mat or a Gates belt or a power stop pad will void your warranty, they're either lying or they don't know the law. Either way, every dollar you saved on this whole list is protected by federal law. Now you know. If you just saved yourself a few hundred, or maybe a few $1,000s, let me know in the comments which dealership ripoff shocked you the most. And if you want more videos exposing the tricks that cost Jeep owners money, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and click the video on your screen. I'll see you in the next one.